privacy should be focused on what's really important to you, and don't focus too much on the other stuff because there's so much data out there. It's already known. Moving on to what the Montreal police are talking about, it befuddles me why this is an issue, and maybe you can tell me why it was. Why
don't we get it right from the horse's mouth, as it were?
Provincial police are urging Quebecers to not post those clips online because they say there could be a case for defamation.
You cannot post the images yourself because you have to remember that in Canada we have a presumption of innocence, and posting that picture could be a violation of private life.
Instead, he says if anything is stolen, call 911.
If you get some proof that somebody might have stolen something, then call the police, give the proof to the police, and then we'll do the investigation. We'll bring that person to justice and we'll file some charges.
I don't know how to say in French, that guy's got his head up his ass, right? He prosecutes he lays charges for criminal offenses. I bet you he doesn't know a fucking thing about privacy laws. What that probably is police don't like not having control. The problem that Canadians are facing is that when they call about a package theft, most of the police forces are too busy to care. And so what those videos are doing is embarrassing the police for not being able to do anything. So I would question the intentions of that spokesperson, because if I have a security camera in my house and somebody runs up and steals a package and runs away, you can fucking post it, right? And they have no expectation of privacy to run up with a mask to your front door and run away with your property. Zero. He's not telling the truth. He's trying to protect the police agency's egos and reputations, right? Because I can tell you, I've had so many people come to me and say, like, I got this video, I'm trying to get investigation. I couldn't get an officer for 5 days across Canada, right? And if it's an Amazon package that's worth $60, how many officers do you think they're going to dedicate to find that out, right? Yes, report it to the police. Absolutely. Don't think that by itself is good enough, right? Report it to the police, and then hopefully they get some facial recognition software or something that will make it easier to identify, right? But if you post it, if I live in a neighborhood and I post it, I want my freaking neighbors to know so they can be aware of it. So he's like telling people not to share with their community what's happening in their community because only the police can deal with it. I call bullshit on that. Excuse my French. I think that's completely wrong. If I had a video of somebody coming onto my property and stealing it, I would post it. Now, the other thing you want to concern yourself with is, could it invite retribution, right? Which is why you always tell the police if a crime has happened. But, there's a lot of community Facebook pages and stuff like that. And that's actually the way to help your community, is for the community to cooperate to deal with the criminals who are breaking into cars or stealing packages. So I don't know why he said that. I don't know why that was given airtime. I don't know even if a lawyer, I'm surprised they didn't have a lawyer come in and do a counterfactual to that. Like, because when he says that risk of defamation or privacy, like, how? Everybody's presumed innocent. The police publish the names of people they charge before they're found guilty. That's how ludicrous this is. If you're charged in Ontario or Quebec, your name gets posted on the police site. You're not found guilty yet. So he says everybody has the presumption of innocence until found guilty, so don't post it. But if they charge you, it'll be in the newspaper with your name, and you're not found guilty yet. So it's nonsense, institutional garbage, and these package thieves need to be dealt with, and the only way is if communities cooperate.
My one follow-up to that is much appreciated getting the idea of, like, what do I have the right to do as a Canadian citizen? Mm-hmm. But now, from a lawyer's perspective, if it's not just a $60 package, if this is something that you as an individual do want to pursue, is ignoring his rationale, is there a good reason to not post this? Like, if you were wanting to pursue a lawsuit against somebody who's stealing something from you, are you doing yourself in any way a disservice by putting that public instead of waiting for it to come out in court? That would be.
They're kind of case specific questions. So you should always get your own legal advice in relation to this, because I'm talking on a broad perspective, from a societal perspective. There's nothing that would undermine a lawsuit because you posted it. It's like if somebody punched you in the face and you were suing them for assault, why would it hurt you to show a video of that, to try to capture the person who's trying to escape responsibility? But in the criminal system, often if somebody is charged and found guilty, sometimes they can have a restitution order, which they get an order that they have to pay for the stuff that they stole. So you probably don't need to do a lawsuit. And you're probably not going to do a lawsuit because Amazon has its own insurance packages. You would go through your home insurance. So, you're not going to sue the thief to get your money back. You want them held accountable. You would love to get your stuff back. But generally, if you go through Amazon, you go through your home insurance, you can get compensated. And if it's something worth $10,000, you should be careful about making sure it's not left on your porch for 2 days.
Very fair. All right. Yeah, I think that would be all the questions that I have, so that we know what we can do with those ring cameras.
The summary point is, kind of like call before you dig. You might want to call before you do something that you don't know. Find out, ask a local lawyer. But the police position on that, as we saw in that video, I think is completely wrong. I'd be happy to debate somebody on that, or to get some feedback from people who know something I might not know. But communities have to help protect themselves. And showing videos of people who are vandalizing, breaking into cars, or stealing packages, I see has very, very little exposure to liability.
Awesome. Thank you, Phillip.